In Consumer Corner, we take a look at trends and products creating a buzz here in China. On today's show, we'll discuss education quality for mainland children commuting to Hong Kong. According to the data from the Hong Kong Education Department, there are nearly 16,000 students crossing mainland China's border every day to go to school in Hong Kong. In 1997, there were only 500 students. And the number of these cross-border students is expected to increase 30 times in the next 15 years. The students are able to study in Hong Kong because they have permanent residency in the city. Some expecting mothers choose to give birth in Hong Kong to give their children access to Hong Kong resources. The Census and Statistics Department of Hong Kong revealed that the number of 3-year-old Hong Kong citizens born to mainland parents has soared. The number rose from 700 in 2003 to more than 29,000 in 2012. That's a 41-fold increase in 9 years. And another survey showed that over the past 5 years, 20% of mainland mothers plan to send their children back to study in Hong Kong. Consequently, nearly 6,000 students study in Hong Kong kindergartens. Revenues from tuition came to approximately $13 million. Many seem to be struggling with the commute and expenses. Wen lives in Shenzhen with his parents. He's a second grader crossing the border every day to go to school in Shengshui town, the northernmost border of Hong Kong. Every morning, Wen needs to get up at 5 a.m. so that he can catch the early bus for his first class at 8. School gets out at 3 o'clock, but Wen usually arrives home at 5 because of his commute. After he finishes his homework and dinner, it's already bedtime for little Wen. He rarely has free time. Wen's father, Mr. Zhang, explained,
It took us only around $1,000 to give birth to Wen in Hong Kong in 2003. For one thing, we hoped Hong Kong residency could get him a better education and social welfare. For another, we had also considered having a second child.
However, Mr. and Mrs. Zhang have given up the idea of having another child, since supporting Wen's studies in Hong Kong has already cost the family a lot of money. Not only does the commute tire out Wen, but the money spent on transportation and Hong Kong expenditures adds more pressure to his family. There are many Shenzhen families with a similar situation. Some parents from other mainland cities choose to rent houses in Shenzhen or Hong Kong to help with the commute. It costs those families thousands of dollars in housing, transport, and living expenditures. Additionally, due to the different culture and language, many mainland students have trouble adjusting. It's especially hard for children from outside the Guangdong province who can't speak Cantonese. So you might ask why they don't stay in the mainland. The answer is that their Hong Kong residency cuts them out of mainland schools. Most schools in mainland China are not allowed to accept non-mainland students. The only school that can accept them are private schools and international schools. These are usually very expensive. The mainland's household registration system is infamously complex. Even if parents are mainland citizens, if their child is born in Hong Kong, then he can't easily transfer his citizenship back to China. And for those parents who gave birth to more than one child in Hong Kong, they would need to pay the one-child policy fee once they transfer their residency. Many netizens show their opinions on microblogs. One net user comments, quote, "Hong Kong has already limited the consumption of milk powder. They will limit these students one day as well, saying so many mainland children are taking their education sources away." Other comments even criticize the behavior of these mainland Chinese parents. Quote, "These children could have a good life in the mainland, but their parents make them live like second-class citizens in Hong Kong. Since they have money to support their children in Hong Kong, why are they so worried about the good living conditions here in mainland China?" Another commenter wrote, quote, "Parental love is universal. However, I think that rational parental love would be better for the children." Parents hoping their children get educated in Hong Kong should have considered the effects of the commute. Granted, this personal decision may pay off for their children in the future.